House Democrats are concerned about President Joe Biden's chances to beat Donald Trump, and they are now circulating a draft letter calling on the DNC to halt the vote that's planned for as early as next week, that would expedite Biden's confirmation as the party's presidential nominee. Now, I got a text. I have a friend who is a delegate, and I got a text, and it talks about how it's entirely possible now that the delegation is going to say, no way, Jose. Do not tell us to do this. The DNC says the virtual roll call to nominate Biden will happen in August, according to a letter that was first obtained by CBS News. But the delegates are saying we may not want to see this happen. And I don't know what kind of pushback they would have. I don't know if they would have the authority to say, not on our watch. I don't know if they would have the ability to slow time. I don't know exactly what they would be able to do to try to manage that timeline and make sure that they get it done at the convention and not necessarily at, ahead of time, or maybe be even a little bit early.
It's a huge mess for them. I'm confident of that. A little bit early?
A little bit early would be nice.
That's crazy talk.
On time would be fine. House Democrats are worried about this, and so now you've got a number of the delegates. Instead of waiting for next month's Democratic National Convention, Democrats decided in May to nominate Biden during a virtual roll call. The DNC is standing firm on their virtual vote, but the detractors say not to short-circuit the debate. In other words, even though he won all the primaries, they may still want to try to say, we want to have an open convention. Remember, he did that press conference, and he said, if somebody wants to oppose me, I would release delegates to vote for whomever they want.
Was he saying that, though, because either he knows nobody will, or is he really open to it?
I would say, yes, he knows nobody will, and he put himself in a box where he can't go back and say, I was kidding. He can't do that. So he knows nobody will, but if he's wrong, it's too, if somebody, he says.
Could he maneuver
twice
behind?
Now he said it. He said, if you don't like it, challenge me. And then somebody else said, would you release your delegates so they could vote for whomever? And he said, yes.
But I think he was banking on them maneuvering behind the scenes and already having things sewn up.
I think you're right. That's a big bet on his part.
Which is why they're now saying, like, whoa, not so fast. Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Let me throw a curveball at you.
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, here's your new curveball.
Okay.
Biden now says that he would reevaluate his campaign if medical condition emerges. What does that mean, Joe, to you?
Oh,
Joe,
gosh.
explain that to me.
So I think that means one of two things.
All right. Political reporting that, by the way.
To me, that means Biden is saying there is no way that I'm going to have a medical issue.
Yeah.
And that's not going to happen. And that's why he's able to bring it up.
Okay.
Or he is sitting there and saying, if by some chance, similar to like the convention, if somebody wants to challenge me, well, then here we go. Like he's saying, well, I'm open to it if I actually have a medical issue. But to me, he's more so signaling there's no way I'm going to have a medical issue, and that's not going to happen. But if I do, I said if I have a medical issue.
If doctors came to me and said, you got this problem, that problem. In other words, if I had some medical condition that emerged when asked if there was anything that would make him reconsider, if doctors came to me and said, you got this problem, that problem.
Well, there's already been plenty of doctors who've come forward on TV and have said, I don't need to sit down with him and examine him. It's clear to me that he has some kind of diminished mental capacity for X,
but we heard doctors
Y,
on TV say
Z
that Trump
reason.
did too, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything. So a doctor would actually have to say that to him. Is that sort of opening the door for Democrats to maybe push behind the scenes that there is something wrong?
Make something up?
Kinda. Listen, maybe you need to dethrone Caesar for Caesar's own good.
No, I think Biden knows that his doctor is not going to come forward and say anything's going on in the next 4 months here. Supposedly, the White House chief medical guy and him are pretty tight. Like Jill,
Ronnie Jackson and Trump?
It's Jill and then Joe's doctor.
Like Kennedy and his pharmacist?
Sure.
Yeah, all of them. All right.
Thanks for watching The Chris and Joe Show. Click to see more from Chris and Joe and tap the button in the middle to subscribe to KTAR News.